Eyewitness. Hadrian said she'll be waiting for me outside of Mast in New Atlantis. Well, we should be able to jump straight there, right? Let's see. Show me the side of the planet that has stuff on it. No, apparently I can't jump straight there. Is that because I'm indoors, or is that because they have to give me a security check, a contraband check? Hadrian, you're still right here.
Thank you again for...
Oh, and here's the doctor.
Just be honest with the captain. They can deny the truth, but that doesn't change it.
I mean, I wasn't planning on lying. I'll persuade if I have the option to persuade, but I wasn't going to be like, billions upon billions of terramorphs have appeared. That actually might be the truth, though. I don't know. Where is Londinian? I've not been told what planet Londinian was on. And I kind of want to go visit it. But it's also Terramorph City now, right? Also, Hadrian, you would save more fuel if you just went with me on my ship. Which I can't jump to. Is just all fast travel disabled? I get it's probably to give time for them to load the character model.
Captain Orion.
Because it's just weird that I can't fast travel anywhere. What if I'm carrying the Terramorph to all these planets? Because coincidentally, there's only been Terramorphs on all the planets that I've gone to, right? Just let me land straight there. I don't need multiple loading screens. Oh, that's why. I completely forgot that I picked up. I picked up those Varoon.
Pleasant to see you.
I picked up those Varoon things. I've immediately forgotten where Sidonia is. How did I forget I picked up Varoon contraband? And I still haven't figured out how to use shielded storage. I have shielded storage on the Mantis. I don't know how to use it.
Take your time. Hey, you looking for anything cool?
They should also have a tab for contraband, right? So that I don't have to do this. They're only worth 91. They were 15 when I picked them up. Furious refined breach. I was trying to not say refried beans, which I successfully did. And then I said it anyways. I've stopped using grenades because I keep accidentally throwing them,
Yo, stay good out there.
and then it forces me to have to reload the screen. So I just like, I'm not carrying them anymore. I kept walking into the whatever it's called, the UC Vigilance, and because I play other games that use the same key that throws grenades, I kept throwing grenades. And then you have to reload, and the loading time takes forever. Not forever, but look at this. This is way too long for a video game in 2024. Thank you. There we go. Anytime I see someone that's just standing there, I assume that they're of some significance. They never are. Not never.
Captain! Over here!
Yeah, let's go meet the president.
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
So that's why they were so okay with throwing 3 admirals under the bus. They already cloned them. Because it was the UC's choice to send in the Terramorphs, right? They had the final call, and then they just decided, oh, we lost. We need to kill 3 of our admirals. We'll just pick these 3. So you're a clone of a man? How's that work?
A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked.
I mean, that's not too far-fetched. X-23 was a clone. Are there others from your program still out there? Other clones?
I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it.
Well, probably not the best. I mean, I've actually had some experience with cloning before, outside the UC, of course.
You have? I mean, it's old technology. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Some independent group might have managed to figure it out again. But in my case, it complicates things. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, It could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
Well, I mean, you're not the person you're cloned after, so that's kind of dumb. What did your father do to merit being executed? Again, we already know these, but sure.
He had his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne. A battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the colony war to an ugly end for the UC. But he's also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him.
So we knew about the Londinian thing. I didn't know he attacked civilian people on the Battle of Cheyenne, which, because we don't know much about the Battle of Cheyenne. And I'm the one who also said I would bomb the place from space. And yes, that's a terrible thing to say, but if Terramorphs were already rampaging through the city and killing all those people that lived there, they were gonna die anyways, right? If they weren't already dead. You want to prevent it from spreading to other cities. So obviously evacuate as many as you can, but if they can't evacuate anyone
Nerves kicking in.
and they're already going to die, it seems more humane to kill them yourself before a Terramorph gets a hold of them. Because a Terramorph is probably going to make them experience far more pain and suffering. You're not your father. The cabinet doesn't see that. It's their problem, not yours.
I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
Just long enough for me to go through all of your dialogue options. Okay. So honestly, what are the risks of accessing this data?
Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
All right. Any suggestions on what I should say to the council?
Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terramorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions.
I think that it's not so much that this one thing is going to be looked at. It's other people looking at other things while the doors are open, right? That's the main issue. Are you willing to tell me any more about your father?
I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being fleet admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of guardians instead. Until his defeat during the colony war, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But Ve Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life.
I mean, in the end, that's just what got him executed. I wouldn't say cost him his life. That makes it sound like it was a sad and unfortunate death. No, now that I know that he was just opening fire on civilians, good. I don't care that he's dead. Your eyes, they're red. Is that a result of the cloning process?
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift.
So we already knew that the eyes came from Mars, but one of the people we met on Mars talked about it like it was a surgery, but it seems to just be dirt in the eyes. Okay. Actually, hold on. I need to go talk to my commanding officer first.
Come find me when you're done.
Just to see if he's got anything new to say. Commander?
Captain, crossed paths with Hadrian Sinon earlier. Said you've been invaluable to her. Keep it up. Now, was there something you needed?
No. Just wanted to see if you had any new dialogue. You don't. Other than that one thing. Alright, Hadrian.
Still no word from the cabinet. Anything you wanted to discuss in the interim?
Nope, don't have any questions.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue.
The cabinet chambers,
Here
the
we
chamber
go.
of cabinets. We've been summoned by the cabinet to present our findings. Looks like we're heading to the cabinet chambers on the top floor of Mast. I gotta wait for her to walk. I don't want to run ahead because if she has dialogue, I want to hear it. But man, is she slow. Is this an outfit I can get, though? There's enough outfits in the game that you can't get. Then I always wonder which ones you can get. Or you can get, but you gotta, like, kill people.
Don't want to keep them waiting.
Like, the only way to get a ranger outfit is to kill rangers that are wearing the ranger outfit. The duster. The ranger duster. There's like 3 characters in the game who wear one, and you have to kill them to get it. Look at Sarkin. Oh, who else we got here? So, security, engineer, the president, a diplomat, and an admiral. Solomon. Oh, he's gonna betray us.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
I can tell the president that thanks doesn't keep my ship field. No, Hadrian made it clear that addressing this issue required the utmost urgency.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have 2 petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
I mean, to stop another swarm of, not xenomorph, terramorphs? Remind me, what's kept in these archives?
All knowledge related to the technologies banned by the UC and the Freestar Collective after the Colony War resides in the archives, including the aforementioned Terramorph data you and Hadrian are after. I want to know what you, someone with less direct involvement in the Armistice, sees as the purpose behind granting said access.
The thing that I find annoying about this is that the mechs were deemed to be locked up. And that's because obviously they needed to take something from the Freestar Collective. But the mechs were not as brutal, from what I've heard and seen, as using animals to slaughter people. We need the archival data to find a way to stop a possible Terramorph apocalypse.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic, and at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this Terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
I've only seen and fought 2. And this one looked different from what I remember. It didn't look like the one I saw at the beginning of the game. But that also could just be it was the beginning of the game. But this one did seem different. It wiped out a colony that never saw it coming. That's pretty alarming.
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
Yes. Madam President? There's a chance what happened could happen elsewhere. We need to grant the request. So I'm supposed to tell her this. Yes, if the fear is the data being weaponized, the Terramorph project failed. That data's not dangerous.
That? I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
That point is a good one. Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention. Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Okay, well, before you all leave, Miss President.
You've got your orders, Captain.
Never mind.
The city needs you. For the attack to happen so quickly.
Officer in charge, Sergeant
Doesn't
Ewing.
add up
Get you
here.
what you need.
I'll make sure the diplomatic machine is ready to serve.
So,
those who save the city.
I was right. They're going wherever I go.
What the hell is going on?
Oh, hi. Can you... Okay. I didn't notice this before. You see... See, I don't know what these other flags mean. That's the Vanguard. What are the other four? None of these are the Red Devil flag. The President wants Hadrian and I down at the spaceport on the double. We need to take the elevator down to the NAT station now! Okay, Terramorphs. They said outbreak. I feel like it's going to be like, what, 1, maybe 2? They aren't going to throw me a full-on assault of Terramorphs, are they? I need to find an EM weapon so I can knock out these hostiles. Oh yeah, because I can't kill them.
That's it. Now hit him with everything you've got. Stop! We're trying to help you!
She's not using an EM weapon and really needs to. That's just a normal weapon she's got.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready.
I'm glad you're not looking at me while you're talking to me. Are you suggesting Terramorphs can control someone's mind?
I'm not suggesting. It's documented behavior. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks just shrug it off. Others hallucinate. And some lose control altogether. They'll lash out at anyone around them, but still be aware while they're doing it. Those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the Terramorph.
Okay, does that mean there's one in this room? So, does this mean I need to worry about you turning on me?
I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terramorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there.
How are you not susceptible? Is it because of your cloning? Sounds like we need to hustle.
Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Logically, shouldn't I not have to actually kill it? I just need to...
I'll survive. You get down to the spaceport. Go!
These guys are all gonna wake up.
These terramorphs. How?
Lives are at stake, Captain. Remember that.
Like, as long as I draw its attention, wouldn't that break its concentration? But no, I guess killing... We're gonna kill it regardless, but I'm just saying. If I break its concentration, it should not be able to fight. Hold on. I still have void form on. Make sure that that is here. It is there. What are you guys doing?
Please, just leave me alone.
Evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
This is the second time something has happened here on New Atlantis.
You might back up! Don't just stand there!
Oh. This one also looks a little different. I want it over here so that these guys don't have the risk of being attacked.
Captain, you ought to be okay. It's not real. Whatever you're experiencing right now, opening fire.
What do you mean, whatever I'm experiencing right now? Am I hallucinating? Was I hallucinating? Because someone was telling me to put my weapon down.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, I've got one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
I didn't even talk to him. He just started talking on his own.
I'm not sure how many are left. Be careful.
The officer in charge stated that his men have the remaining terramorphs trapped on the tarmac, and Hadrian and I are to go find them. He can spare one Marine fire team if we decide we want them. No, I'm not going to bring any other people into the fight. But I can talk to them.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us.
And you're sure you're not going to turn on us out there?
We're not afraid, but we'll stay here and hold the line if that's what you want. You're the experts.
No, I want them to stay here. Because if they do turn on me, like, obviously I do have the thing to neutralize them, but then I'm getting shot at and getting yelled at and smacked at. I don't want to have to worry about multiple things from multiple sides. We'll handle this. You stay put.
Your call. We're on the line.
It's their job to protect the people anyways. Okay, so there are at least 2 more terramorphs. Vasco isn't in my ship anymore. We've only lost 1 security officer. Actually, I haven't used this yet. My Fury, consecutive hits do more damage. So they blew up someone's ship by the looks of it. This one's closer. What, you sleeping? Wake up! Where'd that other laser fire come from?
It's got me! It's got me! Where are you?
Oh, so there's not actually people being attacked. Okay. That's the effect of the hallucination. By making me think I need to rescue people. There is a person over here, though, unless he got away. Hey, buddy. So again, these ones are weaker. These three.
I'm coming for you. Join us in bliss.
So other than the reddish stuff on them, they looked like the second one I found. Why did the first one I find not have this type of face? I should go back and check it. Because I never killed it. It was like level 10 and I was level 1. With no weapons.
Ever wished I'd been more wrong about a theory.
You ever think more attacks would happen so soon?
Not in a million years. Another attack, just as we're making our request? It's insane. If this doesn't convince the cabinet to proceed with our request, I don't know what will.
Well, I guess it's pretty lucky we were here, huh?
Almost hard to believe. Suppose we were just in the right place at the right time.
Was this her ship? Not saying she did it on purpose, but maybe they're following her? Like, was this one her ship that exploded? That they were probably inside of or on top of? Start the fire team first.
Send on the cleanup crew. Work's done.
Not too banged up, Captain? Seems that went about as well as it could have.
Yeah, none of you guys got taken over. Sergeant?
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. The universe put the right people in the right place.
You all held the line. You're the heroes here, not us.
Certainly doesn't feel like it. I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
There were only the three?
Thank you for what you did here today.
Oh. Yes, please. I will take. I didn't even see all this, Captain. Thank you.
Time we shared what went down.
I heard like a growling noise. That? Or is that the alarm going off? Is there another Terramorph in the city and they only contained 2? Oh, that's the alarm. Okay. Sorry. I thought it was a growl. Oh no, someone did get killed here.
Attention. The spaceport has
Look at all
been
that
secured.
bird poop.
Safety precautions remain in place.
Considering I've not seen any birds on this planet, there is a lot of bird poop.
In the middle of something here.
Oh, you're still alive.
Am I going to be alright?
Hopefully those medical packs I just took weren't needed for you. But yeah, you should be fine.
You anti-Xeno squad? Not now. You should be. Okay.
Anti-Xeno Squad. Is that an actual thing? Can I join Anti-Xeno Squad? Is that not what the Vanguard is? I guess they're not. Anti-Xeno Squad. How these people are all up? No?
They said you all saved the city down there. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know where the people went, but we'll trust they're still alive. They didn't just kill them as soon as I left.
Nothing's getting to the cabinet.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
Yeah.
My officers were unprepared for what happened at the spaceport. I intend to correct that.
Those creatures killed UC citizens. They're not killing anymore. The next time terramorphs rear their ugly heads, the UC is going to be ready.
Don't be harsh on them. Obviously, no one expected a terramorph attack.
You're going to need a place to do all this work, but I think I know just the spot.
Okay.
Captain, Hadrian, it would appear that the cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today, as well as an apology. Your concerns about the terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
It is still a really big coincidence, right? Agreed. Thank you.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
I don't get a title boost. I'm still a lowly captain. Me? Why not send a diplomat? Someone trained for this sort of thing.
The cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of terramorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The cabinet was unanimous. They want you.
Okay. Tell me what I'm getting into first, and then I'll consider it.
The very next item on my list. In exchange, We're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us?
Oh, I thought that said what I'm getting into, not what I'm getting from this. I didn't care about what I was getting from this. I wanted to know more information. And what do I get for being a UC citizen? I get to buy a house. Okay.
It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services across the UC. There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. Help get you on your feet. But above all, you'd become a dedicated part of the greatest faction in the galaxy. If you're willing to help us, we can open that door.
So they're so far the only faction that... Well, I guess they won't give me a house. They give me the ability to buy a house. I have 2 on Aquila City. Ryujin, I feel like, was supposed to give you one because they have their own apartment complex, and Crimson Fleet gives you a house. So, sure, I guess it makes sense. You can count on me, ma'am.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
That completes Eyewitness. A shorter quest for a change.
Start getting a plan together for that data.
Helps to remember that.
Okay, can I talk to
the
anybody?
cabinet's full backing.
We're
to
counting
prevent
on
more
you,
attacks.
Captain.
Understand?
Don't let my people's
loss of life.
sacrifice be in
We're
vain.
going
to
to
the
get to the
spaceport.
bottom of what
The
happened at the
costs of this
spaceport.
attack are greater than I think we realize.
All you need to concern yourself with right now is collecting that data.
Wait, where did...
Okay, hello.
Dealing with ambassadors? I think I'd rather fight more terramorphs.
Okay, well, that was it.